Hi, and welcome to another episode of HonestAF Show with me, Daniella Clark.
And me, Barbaranne Wild.
And Miss Barbaranne Wild, today we have a guest.
So excited about this.
So
Beautiful.
Exciting. This is a gorgeous book. It's called Desert Dreams, The Music, Style, and Allure of Coachella by Katie Bai. Welcome, Katie.
Thank you so
Hi,
much for
Katie.
having me. It is a pleasure to be here. Yes.
So, this whole thing came around because of our daughter, my daughter.
Yes.
Our daughter.
Frankie. Yes, because we have a daughter together. My daughter, Frankie, called me the other day and she was like, we just had a book signing at Licorice Pizza and I think you'd really like this book and maybe she should be a guest on your show.
Oh.
And so when Frankie calls, I listen.
She actually nails it. She said you guys would really enjoy meeting with you, Katie, and having you on. And I mean, this is like so near and dear to our heart, being that, our lives and what we do.
Music and fashion.
Yeah.
What else?
It's all right there.
Yeah.
The title.
What else do you need?
Yeah.
And actually, we're going to the desert next weekend. So it's all just,
check.
Oh my God, this would be a good gift for Allison, too.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Allison, do not listen to this show, please.
She listens. Anyways, Katie, so how did this come about? You're a writer. You've been writing for Billboard magazine.
Yeah. So I've been covering music in LA for about 15 years. Covering Coachella since 2011, I would say. Attending since 2008. I'm the senior music correspondent at Billboard. But this project kind of blessedly fell in my lap. Last year, the publisher was looking for someone to write it, and it found its way to me.
That's
and
amazing.
Wow.
I mean, if I do say so myself, I felt like I was the perfect person to do it because I love Coachella. I've been 17 times.
17 times?
If you count the times I've gone both weekends, which I do because they're different experiences.
Okay.
I've been 13 years. And I've been there in a work capacity for most of those experiences. So I felt like I really knew what to do with the book.
Wow, that's so cool. What a great opportunity for you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's my first book, so it couldn't be any better.
This is your first book. It's phenomenal.
Thank you.
It's gorgeous. What were the acts the very first time you went to Coachella?
Okay, so it was Prince.
Near and dear to our heart too.
This is my favorite.
I mean, right, exactly. He was added to the lineup 2 weeks before the festival. I'm sure you guys remember, and it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I had just moved to LA the year prior from Wisconsin. So I didn't know what Coachella was, but I knew that there was going to be a Prince concert near Los Angeles. And so, whatever that was, I was signing up for it. And that's when you could still buy single day tickets. So me and my friend, the first friend I made in LA, got tickets, drove out Saturday morning. It was extremely hot. That was my first time ever.
Did you say it was 2008?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was my first time ever in desert heat. I had never experienced that kind
shocking.
From Wisconsin.
From Wisconsin.
Wow.
I was like,
That's
in a patch of shade for a lot of the afternoon, frankly. And then we saw a few shows before Prince, but it was really, for me, all about Prince. And it's a famous performance. It's, of course, in the book, but he played a lot of covers. He had Morris Day there. I think Sheila E. was there. And
Did Morris Day open for him? Or
no, he was part of the band.
He was part of the band.
That's when he used to have everyone up on stage.
It was a party.
I didn't see that show, but I would have loved to.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I don't know why I didn't see it. You would think I would have gone to that.
Yeah, it was, I always joke, he did Little Red Corvette, and it was this very slowed down, kind of very sexy version.
Oh, I love that.
I always tell people I went in a girl and I came out a woman. After that performance, it really changed me. And so that was Coachella year one for me.
Wow.
And I was there as a fan. And then next time I came, I was there as a journalist.
Wow. Yeah.
So you came from Wisconsin to California with, you were going to do communication or writing or...
Yeah. Yes, that was the plan. I mean, I didn't have a job when I got here.
Okay.
So it was all kind of a wing and a prayer. My mom and sister drove me out from Wisconsin. I grew up near Green Bay, and I went to journalism school at the University of Wisconsin.
Okay.
And then, I had some friends out here, and not good friends. I didn't really know anybody.
Yeah.
But I knew that I wanted to be a journalist, and I knew that I love music. I didn't quite have a context for how squarely, I guess, how much of a music scene there was. It sounds naive. It was naive. But I didn't know that so much would be available to me in terms of music. And I got here and I was like, I'm going to show every night. And I did.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that really was my education. And then sent a cold email to an editor. At the time, the LA Times had Metro Mix, which is their youth publication, basically. And I got a job.
That's amazing.
I love that.
I got so lucky.
I love that because that's something that I've always instilled in my daughter.
Yeah.
Is just take that chance. Start at the top. You never know.
You never know. That's what my mom always told me too. So, I mean, can I swear?
Absolutely. We swear all the time.
You got to throw some shit at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's said in any number of ways, but I find that very exciting, just kind of tossing stuff out there and seeing what lands.
Yeah.
And that landed. And so, there I was at the LA Times in the grand LA Times lobby when they were downtown and fresh from Wisconsin. And it was a pretty big deal for me.
That is incredible.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah.
That's killer. Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that because I when I was really young, I went into photography.
Okay.
And I started to shoot pictures and started to build my book. And the first place I reached out to in my naivete was Vogue.
Well, isn't it great to be so naive that we're like LA Times?
Ignorance
Vogue.
is bliss.
Yeah.
Because you're not too scared to do it.
Exactly.
You know, and
did you hear back?
I did.
Well, okay.
I did.
So
I
did
actually
the same
did,
thing,
yeah.
but not because of fashion, because I wanted to do writing, be a writer.
Okay.
And I have a folder with when I knew I was going to move to California from Los Angeles. Zach my husband had just gotten the gig as a guitar player for Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
And Sharon, his wife, who's, my family, she said to me, I'll give you a list of people to hit up to, get a job in the music industry. And I was like, I love reading. I'm going to also send some blind out to publishers. And I have a folder with the form rejection, HarperCollins, sorry, we're not hiring right now, but it's amazing that, you reached out and, good luck on your journey or what have you. But it's so funny because younger people today, I have a 23-year-old who is, just about to go to grad school and out there trying to get a job. And he's like, I can't apply to that. I'm not qualified or I'm overqualified for this. I'm like, just send everything out there and see what sticks.
Exactly. I was so underqualified when I started at the Times. I lived in LA for a few months. I didn't know the club scene, but you learn as you go. It's you throw yourself in it and you learn on the way. And that's just...
You just have to be open.
Exactly. And a little brave or a little naive.
A little naive is good. It's always good.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's going to come knocking on your door in your room, especially now when you're sitting behind your computer. No one's coming to you. No. You have to go out there and do it.
Yeah. What's it? Don't ask, don't get.
Yeah.
So you
gotta exactly right.
Yeah.
So I was really shocked because when I was thumbing through your book, I realized that Coachella has been around for over 25 years.
Yeah.
I had no idea. That, to me, it's like a new thing. I didn't think that it was been around for over 25 years. Did you know that?
I did, only because the very first one, I was with Ozzy and Sharon, and Jack and Kelly were very young teenagers or maybe preteen. And they were all getting ready to go with the nannies and their, watchers to Coachella. And I was sitting in the kitchen with Ozzy and Sharon. I'm like, what is Coachella? Where are they going? She's like, oh, it's a new music festival out in the desert. I was like, oh, and that was the first I had ever heard about it. Because my children were little.
Okay.
Gosh, I don't know. It was in the very late 90s.
Yeah. So the first one is 99.
Yeah.
So they were there right at the beginning.
They were, absolutely. So yeah.
Yeah.
99.
That's so cool. Because to be there for the first one of anything, who knows? Who knew it was going to turn into such a cultural global phenomenon?
You never know what's going to happen a year later. You say first annual, but
yeah. The crazy thing about that year one too is that it happened in the wake of Woodstock 99. And you guys know what a debacle that was.
Yeah.
And so there was this question of like, can America pull off this music festival like they have in the UK with like Glastonbury and Reading? Because Woodstock 99 was really bad. And a lot of the same acts, or at least a handful, were also playing Coachella. And the tickets for Coachella went on sale the day after Woodstock 99 ended. And so it was kind of this crazy juxtaposition because, obviously opposite sides of the country. Woodstock 99 happened at a military base on tarmac, no shade. It was really inhospitable. And then Coachella happened at this kind of veritable Eden in the desert. Everything was very lush. And you've been there, the fields and the bougainvillea. And the crowd was, I quote the LA Times year one review in there, just chill. And I don't know if that's Southern California or what the kind of alchemy was in the air, but it was kind of the answer and like a relief to say, okay, like America can do this and we can do it in a way that's not violent and successful.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think was the reason why Coachella like blossomed into this huge festival and sustained over all these years?
It's a good question. I think there are a few reasons. I think one, the kind of visionary level of the lineups and the programming is so good. Like they're just really incredible trend forecasters at Golden Voice. And also simultaneously, they do, or, one of the kind of tent poles of the lineups for a long time were these reunions of getting Iggy and the Stooges back together, getting the Pixies, getting Outkast back together, where people were like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening and I like have to be there. And so it's like everything that's hot right now or will be hot in 6 months to a year, and everyone looks to that. And then it's like bringing in these, headline making marquee acts that everyone wants to see because they're getting back together. So there's that. And then also technology has played a really big role because in 2011 the live stream launched. And so it was the first time that people around the world could be like, oh, this looks awesome, and there's a lot of people there and a lot of my favorite artists are playing there. And then also Instagram launched. And so people could see people putting themselves on display in this beautiful setting with these amazing outfits, seeing these great shows. And it just, I think that it all kind of dovetailed in 2010, 11, where it put it on display for the world. And then in 2012, they expanded to 2 weekends. So I can't say, chicken or the egg. Like, I don't know if they were planning, how far along they were planning the expansion, but the live stream certainly didn't hurt.
It's funny because K-Rock was such a part of Coachella and Lollapalooza. And it was such the foundation of bands that were breaking on K-Rock would get on Coachella early on in their career, and then it would just be like the perfect storm. But with radio being so not anything of what it was, and K-Rock not having that stronghold that it had on the entire music industry, really, launching all new artists and everything, I find it interesting. Like, how do you see that? It's surprising to me that radio's kind of gone away and now Coachella is 2 weekends. It's like, it seems like they've had a continued growth. Why do you think that is? Has there been any study done on the correlation? Because radio is not significant anymore.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And it's super interesting because simultaneously in the eras that we're talking about, it's like the decline of radio, the decline of album sales, and the rise of DSPs like Spotify, Apple Music. And so music scenes became, famously fractured. And it's like this demographic doesn't know what this demographic is listening to, and there's less of a monoculture. And so I think Golden Voice is just really on the pulse. They are, they are scanning the world essentially to find the hottest acts. But in the book, like I quote Paul Tillett, who said it's a bit like gambling because you can have an artist that had a viral hit last month on the lineup, but you don't necessarily know that they're going to be hot in 4 or 5 months when the festival happens.
Right.
So it's
and they book so far ahead of time.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. And so it's a different sort of equation these days.
That's so interesting. I think my first experience at Coachella was when Frankie was 16, she wanted to go to Coachella with her friends, and I was too nervous to let her go alone. So I said, you know what? I'll go with you.
Okay.
The first time you go, I'll go with you.
It's good mom. Good momming.
And I will survey it. And if I think it's okay, then next year you can go alone.
Okay. Good deal.
And so I went with her, and I think it was either 2012 or 2000. It was Black Keys. It was the Black Keys and the Strokes.
Was it Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg?
Yes.
That was 2012.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's when I went. And, you know, and it was, you and I were spoiled because we're used to going to all these shows and, you know, being backstage. It's interesting when you go there just as a fan.
Yeah.
Rather than going there as part of the, you know, part of the crew.
Right.
But for me, it was exciting because there was all these bands playing all at the same time, all over the place. And, you know, all these things that you could do and just for me, I was more in awe of all the fashion because that's what I do for work. And so I was just looking at what everybody was wearing and the individuality that was going into it and what, you know, how everybody was just like, you know, had this like kind of freedom to just do what they wanted to do between the face painting and the glitter and, you know, the braids in the hair and half naked bodies
close
running
to
around.
the 60s and the summer of love that we've ever, you know, gotten a taste of.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's fascinating to me that you, as a fashion expert, were there, and you, someone of your stature and with your expertise, noted of like, okay, this is something that's really happening here. This is like a big component.
And it was a really big deal at that time for me because when I went and I saw all the young kids there and everything that was going on, I was like, oh, we need to start focusing on festival fashions, you know.
Isn't that crazy? It's like there, you know, there'd be all these lines have their resort wear or their holiday line, and now it's like festival line is like a thing for every brand, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I remember going back to my desk and going, okay, I need to come up with like some really cute clothes that girls are going to want to wear at the festival.
Okay.
You know, so.
What did you design?
Oh, I mean, for me, I was doing jeans at the time.
Yeah.
So it was all low-rise jeans.
Sure.
So,
fringy,
you know, like bedazzling and all kinds of wild
like
stuff.
fun boho
little
jeans.
Denim bra tops. And
yes.
I
feel like I
wear.
probably wore that 1 year.
For sure.
So, so it was very influential for a lot of fashion brands as well.
Yeah.
At that time. What are some of the acts that stand out to you after going 17 times? Who is like your favorite?
There's so many. And quite a few of them are in the book. One that I keep referring to because it's famous and it's important and I was there and it's really real for me is Beyonce's headlining year.
Oh, yeah.
In 2018. It was something else. I was there on the ground that day, and my friend's significant other at the time worked in production. And so we kind of heard this rumor of like, Beyonce's here and she brought 18 trucks. Like, that seems like a lot of stuff, you know? Like, what is she going to do? And by the time the show started, and it's that famous pyramid structure where she has the marching band and the dancers and Jay-Z and Solange, her sister, and Destiny's Child, it was the biggest party by the end of that show. And it was one of those shows that, you know how big that field is and how many people can fit there. It was one of those that she had the audience from the front row to the very back. Like everyone was locked in with her.
Wow.
And that's really difficult to achieve in a crowd of that size.
Oh, for sure.
And I've got goosebumps talking about it right now. It was so special. And it was historic because she was the first Black female headliner ever at Coachella.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was just like the
She
quality.
was the first Black female headliner at Coachella.
Yes.
Okay. Who was the first female?
I believe it was Bjork.
Oh.
Yeah, in the, I don't want to say year one, but like one of the very early years.
Okay.
And she remained the, only female headliner for I think quite some time. And then I forget who the second one was. But yeah, Beyonce and Bjork are linked in that way.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, I remember Frankie went to Coachella. I think it was like a year or two ago. I don't remember when it was exactly. Maybe a year or two ago, maybe more. but Lady Gaga headlined.
Oh my goodness.
And she called me up and she was like, go on the live stream. You've got to see this. You're going to freak out. Her, everything about it, she was like, you wait till you see her costumes. And she calls me Meme. She goes, Meme, I've got goosebumps. It's incredible.
Amazing.
Did you go on the live stream?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What did you think?
I mean, it was breathtaking.
It was
phenomenal.
It was, okay, weekend one was very, very hot, like very hot on Friday, to the point that people were a little bit zombie.
Yeah, because it does take away your
so
energy.
Hot.
Yeah.
I would say the crowd was pretty zapped, and there were a lot of people there to see Gaga. She had headlined in 2017, but she had replaced Beyonce because Beyonce had gotten pregnant, so she couldn't do the headlining show until next year. And that show 2017 was great, but this show, this past year, it was 2025, was...
I was going to say, because she has the new record.
Yeah, Mayhem.
Yeah.
It was like art in the truest sense of the word. It's
right.
the opera theme, Mayhem,
opera
in the desert. Oh my, I mean, look at this outfit.
I mean, I watched the entire stream of the Madison Square Garden shows that she did. I didn't watch the live stream of Coachella, but she's incredible.
She's truly an artist. Like, she's a visionary.
She's such a visionary. Yeah.
I was talking to the promoter for that show recently, and he's like, she came with the entire idea. There was nothing that we needed to evolve or talk about. Like, it was, by the time she got there, it was like, this is exactly what we're doing. And it was phenomenal.
Love artists like that have the vision and they know what they want.
Right.
Because there's so many artists, especially nowadays, that don't write their own music, they have stylists for their style. They have everybody else is manufacturing their look for them and their overall vibe for them. I love it when an artist knows who they are.
Exactly.
And that has that vision and that is willing to push and
right. And not afraid to get a little bit weird isn't quite the right word, but not to be like sexy and hot the whole time. Like, there were moments in that show where, she's on crutches and she's limping along. She's like a peg leg. And at the end,
she's a metalhead, right?
She is.
She is an absolute metalhead. It's where she dwells in her deep soul, because she's been at a lot of our Aussie shows, Judas Priest, she loves. And Lady Starlight, who was her best friend and used to be her DJ when she did her shows early on, she even opened up for my husband's band for a while.
Cool.
Really cool. But so I think a lot of that Marilyn Manson theatrics, that whole goth rock thing is underneath all that pop,
1000%.
And I think it just lends itself to like an incredible full-bodied artist.
Exactly.
I'd like to ask you a complete flippant question. Which lineup did you think fell flat?
Oh, that's a good question.
As a fan, like just 17 years of going.
Or as a writer of Billboard.
Well, I would say, here's what I'm going to say diplomatically. As I get older, and the festival really has done this interesting turn where it is pop music. The headliners this year are Karol G, Justin Bieber, and Sabrina Carpenter, the biggest pop artists in the world, 3 of them. And so I have found that as I've gotten older and, that's not necessarily my taste, I'm less compelled by the people on the top of the lineup as I am by the undercard.
Got it.
So, but that's, it's a commentary on Coachella, but it's also a commentary on myself, let's say. So I don't want to say any of them fell flat. It's just that I don't necessarily go to see those headlining performances because I'm elsewhere.
Right. And a lot of it is it still like a lot of DJs and...
Oh, yeah. I cover dance music at Billboard. I'm the dance editor. And electronic music has a huge presence at Coachella. I would say it's like the backbone of Coachella because it's on almost every stage. There are 2 stages dedicated entirely to dance. And it's been a really important component of the festival since year one because the underground electronic scene in Southern California in the 90s was massive, really important, and really kind of like in a symbiotic relationship with Golden Voice, particularly through Insomniac. So, they had the Orb and the Chemical Brothers and Orbital and Ronnie Size and all of these like really important DJ producers in the early years. And that has really only continued.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, when I went, I had such a good time because I loved the variety that you could just, run around all day. And I think it's such a great thing for kids to go and just listen to music, live music, and be around and be out in the open. But for me personally, the hardest part was the parking. The parking.
Driving there.
Oh my God.
It's tough.
Yeah. Parking.
Tell us, what experience did you have?
Just, even though we had VIP parking, I still felt like it was so far away,
Well, VIP is tricky too because it puts you close to the stage and the entrance. But then when you're in there, everyone is parked behind you.
Yeah.
And so you have to wait for all those people to leave for you to get out. Like there have been years. Yeah. Like my Coachella buddy and she and I go together every year. We have napped in the car. We get in the car, we fall asleep for a while, and then we get back up and wait till the lot is cleared a little bit to drive out because it takes a long time.
Gosh, you guys are such diehards.
We love it. Yes, we do.
My older two kids, my daughter's 33 and my son's 32, and they had me taking them to Coachella every year for quite a few years in a row. And they felt that once the variety of music kind of like they used to buy the tickets the next day, regardless of who the lineup was for the next year. And then it started to get to the point where my daughter especially was just like, it's not enough variety for me anymore.
Interesting.
It's very much singularly pop.
Yeah.
Or something that she loved the underground stuff. Yeah. So she was like, I'm out on Coachella now. So that's why I asked you that question, because I think that one of the things that was so beautiful about it and is still really beautiful about Lollapalooza is that the variety of, you'll see Paul McCartney with an EDM artist or just this whole myriad of musicians, and you discover stuff or whatever. And now it's very much or actually my kids have been out on Coachella for quite a while.
Interesting.
But I mean, the artists that you cover in here are like the highlights. So I was just, that's why I wanted to ask you that question.
I mean, it is, that's fascinating to hear because I do miss the years of like, who are they going to bring back together? There is less of that now because the big slots are occupied by, the pop stars.
Right.
And there are kind of fewer of those acts, as groups get older or they have reunited already.
And then there's that.
Where it's like, well, who's left that would be big enough and buzzy enough to kind of fill that space? I'm confident that they will find somebody, and I hope it's the Talking Heads, although I'm not sure it'll ever happen.
Would be really fun.
So good.
Yeah.
But
I loved when they did the old Cella. Those couple years.
Oh my God.
I don't know why they haven't done it in a couple years now. That was like incredible.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
That lineup, when that came out, it was like, how is this even real? It was Paul McCartney,
Elton John, the Stones,
Bob Dylan, Neil Young, The Who, and Roger Waters.
I know.
It was like,
wow,
and 2 weekends
Your
in a
memory
row.
Is good.
Yeah, they did, and I mean, I snuck into the pit for the Stones show. And I basically just camped out there for that weekend, like found a way in. And I have never seen anything like, those bands still are the best bands in the world as far as I'm concerned.
That's
I wish they would do it again.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Who could it be? Zeppelin?
Well, you could still do the Stones.
Right. The Stones
I don't know if
come back.
I don't think Zeppelin's ever going to happen.
I know. That's my pie in the sky.
But I could see Robert Plant doing it with some of his other incarnations, but not Zeppelin.
Yeah, God, who would it be?
I mean, there are
AC/DC.
AC/DC could.
AC/DC could. Yeah, and they headlined Coachella in 2015.
Right. I mean, it would be great if they could do Fleetwood Mac, but Christine McVie is no longer with us. But some incarnation of that,
right?
Gosh, I don't know. I have to think about that for a minute.
Yeah,
but I
would get back out there for that in a second.
Me too. Yeah. I would love to.
Yeah, I think Frankie's the same way as Jessie and your kids, because like she goes when she's sees an artist that she wants to go see.
I think a lot of times too, like the Frank Oceans of the world or the Strokes, when they say that they're going to be there and then they don't go, that's another thing that is so disillusioning for a lot of these kids, that it's like, I'm going to Coachella because Frank Ocean's going to be there. Not.
I mean, he was there, but was he there? I was at that show, and it was, if you take away the level of disappointment, it was actually like fascinating, from like a sociological, like anthropological perspective.
Yeah.
But it was very weird. I've never walked off the field any night of Coachella. It was a Sunday night, and everyone walked off in silence.
Wow.
They all left Coachella in silence.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very strange.
Amazing.
Wow.
And he did not come back for weekend too, as you know.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I wanted to say that if anybody wants to check out this book, you should, because it has so much information and really, really cool photos in here of all the different performances that we've kind of chatted about, and of the fashion and
the history
of Coachella. It is really, really interesting. You did an amazing job on this book. It's really, really cool. How do people buy this book? On Amazon?
Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can order it from your local independent bookstore, which is a great way to do it. But anywhere you would go to get a book, you can get it there.
I mean, this is a definite Barb's Bag of Tricks holiday. I mean, Daniella and I, HonestAFers, I mean, this is our world, right? This is where we dwell, and, fashion and music, and I mean, festivals, we're all about it. So anyone listening who needs a gift idea, this would be on the top of my list.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both.
Thank you for coming and chatting with us.
Love talking to you. You're like, super interesting and so knowledgeable, and it's really gorgeous to see in a young person.
It's my pleasure.
Cool.
Thank you for coming. We really enjoyed having you. All right. Make sure you check out this book, Desert Dreams, The Music, Style, and Allure of Coachella by Katie Bain. And if you have any suggestions or products or subject matters that you want us to talk about, make sure to hit us up on all of our socials, HonestAF Show across the board. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. Until next time, you all take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. We obviously need to do a disclaimer here, so we want you to know we are not doctors or experts by any stretch of the imagination. We are just a couple of gals that are looking for magical products, procedures, and experiences. And in our quest, we will share our honest as fuck opinions with you. So please make sure before you try anything we talk about that you know your own restrictions and do so at your own risk. Do not blame us for any of your issues. We're just experimenting too.